Hello everyone, my name is MrFrogger, and this is the Crossroads SMP. Thank you so much for joining me today in episode 3, and it is an exciting episode as we're going to do our best and try and build something, let's say, inspired by My Neighbor Totoro. As you can probably tell, I like lush and green overgrown builds, and I think Totoro fits that build style quite well. I've been playing Minecraft for about 7 years, and I have been loving Studio Ghibli films since, well, before then. And I've really wanted to do this for a while, but kind of never felt confident enough in my building. But in the past couple of years, I've really focused on my building more and become more confident with it. Maybe too confident? I don't know. We'll find out. So as you've seen before, there is our shopping district here, and I would really like to set up a shop. But I wasn't sure what my shop should sell. And so I've come up with a great idea. For those that don't know, in My Neighbor Totoro, Totoro comes and, well, grows up some trees by doing a little dance like this. And yeah, I think that's kind of what I want to work on here. I think what I want to do is build up Totoro's lair, and in the lair, allow people to take an IOU from me in exchange from building up a few trees in my forest area. And I've kind of been inspired to do this since the Mangrove update has come out, and we have these wonderful mangrove leaves. And basically, the vision I have is mangrove leaves like this, and maybe a dead bush or some fences, and then making like a little kind of overgrown bit around it like this that you kind of have to crawl through. And we can set up a trapdoor on the top, which makes us crawl through. And yeah, there's a bit in the film where May kind of runs under these kind of low roots and leaves, but her dad cannot follow because, well, he's too big. And I think that's the kind of feel I want to do here, is make this kind of area to get into the shop where you have to crawl through under these roots and leaves. And I have this plot in mind. Behind Yara and Short Range and Chibis, Luna has this lovely little honey tree. And I think we could go into this hillside here behind the Luna's tree. And yeah, we could make this entrance that you have to crawl through. And also Totoro's lair, which will be nice, lush and green. So let's clear up some space and get started. I have chatted with Luna, and we're going to go right here behind her tree, and we're going to clear out a big area, and we will build our little kind of overgrown cave area from Totoro. So digging prep is done, and yeah, let's put in this floor. To start with, we want to get this area of the entrance sorted, and my idea is a combination of the coarse dirt, this packed mud, a bit of rooted dirt, and some moss, and I think this could look really nice as a combination. And now what I want to do is go in and add some dead bushes, some grass, some of these mangrove roots. Yeah, I think that could be a nice amount. We might want to come in and add a few more, why not? And then for the leaves, I think we just go oak to start with and see how it looks. And we have 2 trapdoors, so we need one at this side, and we need one at this side. I think we need to pretty up the outside here, but the concept is how I wanted it. So we go in, we have this kind of overgrown, rooted kind of walkway, and then it will open up into here, which we'll do as an incredibly big lush cave, with some tree roots and everything. But for a beginning, I think this is a good start. I think this gets across the feeling that I wanted at this point. We might need to add some lights in, but for now it's looking great. We have the entrance as we want it, and now we got to work on this area in here. On the back wall here, I think we want a large kind of tree root, and I think that's the best place to start, and then we can work out the rest of this area from there on. So I think if we start maybe about here and work our way back into that wall, if we need to expand that wall back a bit, we can easily do that. So let's just work on a basic shape and see what we come up with. I think this is a good start, and then we'll just take it back a layer and see what we can do. Yeah, I think that looks good, but I want to extend it up into the ceiling so we don't have that kind of stone top to it. Yeah, I think something like that could work out pretty well. Now we're going to make the top of these the wood rather than the log variant, and I think I'll also add in some stairs and slabs and see what we can come up with. Yeah, this is looking good. I think we could go in and strip some of this wood. I think that could add to it quite nicely. Yeah, that looks a lot better with the texture in. And in the film, well, it's quite kind of leafy and overgrown, and I think having some moss in and amongst the wood might look quite good. So let's take out, say, these 3 pieces here and add in a bit of moss, and maybe let's do the same over here. You never know, this moss might be just too bright, and we could always try the kind of the green wool, the darker one. That might be the right color. Do I like this? I'm going to persevere, because I think switching it back to be the wood isn't the worst thing in the world. So now what we want to do is kind of fill this area in with other blocks, so it's not just the stone. And I guess we'll start with, let's do this wall first. And I want to experiment with the mud. So let's grab some mud and fill it in as kind of, I guess, a darker stone rather than a mud style. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's try mixing in around it some dripstone, some rooted dirt, and some coarse dirt, and maybe a bit of tuff as well. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll bring you back and we can have a look. Yeah, I think that is a good start. I think what I want to do is actually convert this whole ceiling into dirt of some sort, whether it's normal, rooted, or coarse dirt. I think that could be great. Let's grab all the dirt, let's do the roof, and then I think that'll help, because we want kind of the stone coming from the bottom up. But the roof, I think, will mostly be dirt with hanging leaves and the roots and stuff like that. Okay, hear me out. I know it just looks like a giant dirt box right now, but it will look good, and we're getting to the detail part, so trust me, I guess. So let's patch in some coarse dirt, some rooted, some of this dripstone, and some of this packed mud in around this dirt cave to kind of give it a bit more texture. So we can go in and just do it in like blobs like this. Oh, and you know what? We can add some grass, which should give it a nice little pop of color. I think grass and some moss could be a great addition here. Yeah, this is looking much better on the floor. The ceiling, yeah, we've still got to do that. So for the ceiling, we're going to do something similar. We're going to texture it with a different variety of mud and stone, as well as dripstone, but we're also going to add in a bunch of leaves as well to see how that goes. We've added a bunch of the dirt, the moss, and some of the stone variants, and this packed mud in the ceiling, and it is starting to have the feel I want. But one thing I think I want to do now is I want to go in and add maybe some wood, some kind of roots hanging in, and other things like leaves and dripstone and stuff, just to get some items hanging in and around here. So let's add the glowberries in now, because they'll take a little bit of time to grow. Probably don't want, well, I was going to say we don't want too many, but can you have too many? Now I have some roots and some fences and some dark oak logs, and I think I'm going to do some nice, I guess, roots coming through. Now I kind of want to add some dripstone here as well. I think adding bits in like this could do really well. Yeah, I think that could look great. Now for leaves, we have azalea and we have oak, and I think together these could be a nice little combo. So if we come in, just add a bunch here. Yeah, that corner's coming together nicely, I think. Oh yeah, I think this is going to look great. I think we need to sort out the lighting. Now we have a little bit of lighting from the glowberries, which we can trim and bone meal so that there's light in them. But we also have the frog lights, which I think we can hide in nice places. I think we'll also go in and add some flowers in here as well. Yeah, just to give it a little bit of a more overgrown feel. So the build on the inside is done, and let's take a look with shaders on. I still really love this little entranceway with the roots and the leaves above, and I think the floor is looking pretty nice with some buttons and glow lichen and a bit of grass everywhere. And we come out into this wonderful, luscious cave. The flowers and the hanging things, just adding that extra height and depth everywhere, I really enjoy. We have our little kind of water feature over here, which is nice. Down here on the tree, bit of glow lichen. We could maybe do with a bit more. Maybe we'll add some more in future. Then we have a lectern with a little note saying what needs to be done. We have a barrel for names and a barrel for IOUs so people can pick them up. And I really love the mud here. I'm kind of using it, I think it was Pixel Riffs where I first kind of heard in this way, but kind of using it as a stone rather than mud in this sense. And I think it's come out really nice. And this whole area, oh, it is looking great, I think. Why don't you let me know what you think to this little area in here and how you think it's come across, because I'm really loving it. And I think it's done quite a good job in being inspired from My Neighbor Totoro. And I forgot to say this before, but if you haven't seen the film, go watch it. It's fantastic. Well, this was a fun little episode, and I'm really, really happy with this build. I think this is to be one of my favorite builds so far, and a little treat for those people that stayed right to the end. You get a lovely little shaders cinematic of this base. So enjoy, and until next time, bye-bye.